Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all having a great and wonderful day. Well, apparently, it's not being a wonderful day for anybody that's committing fraud because now Pam Bondi is announcing that the DOJ will prosecute people for all the fraud that DOGE finds, which doesn't seem to be very good because a lot of these people are in trouble. They're going to be running to the hills because there's not much that they can do, right? I mean, they can try their bestest, they can run, they can, try to seek enlightenment, but their times are numbered. It's all going about to be doomed, and we'll show it to you here. So we have this here for the Trump War Room saying, Attorney General Pam Bondi announces the DOJ will prosecute fraud that DOGE uncovers and bring back the death penalty for violent criminals.
Is doing such a fantastic job. I thought maybe you could say a few words.
Thank you, President. As far as we are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse, a lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your team. You have uncovered so much fraud in our government, and we will prosecute you. We have an internal task force now working with every agency sitting here at this table. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. Thank you, Elon, for that. On the violent crime level, thanks to President Trump's directive, we are seeking the death penalty again. So all of these horrible, violent criminals that you're hearing about around the country, they will face the death penalty federally within our country. And the drug dealers need to get out of here because we are coming after you. We're going to have 94 great U.S. attorneys around this country, and everyone will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Thank you.
Thank you, President. It's at your directive.
Is doing.
Yes. So, Pam Bondi slash Trump are not effing around. Your guys' names are numbered. All right. So, yeah, perhaps when you go and commit fraud, don't do it. But you guys are already doomed because you already committed fraud. And it's probably going to expose a lot of the little Democrat rats that are there. Because, of course, why would it be? So what we have here as well is that from Benny Johnson saying, Elon Musk, while wearing a Trump was right about everything, says, Doge uncovered $330 million in SBA loans to children under 11 years old. The youngest was a 93-year-old who received a $100,000 loan. $100,000 loan. What are we doing? What is happening here?
Well, a clear case of fraud was with the Small Business Administration, where they were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
Well, we're tackling the fraud, waste, and abuse in the agency. We've seen, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud go unprosecuted, so we're taking that on. We have a zero tolerance policy for fraud, and we continue to crack down on it and make sure people are held accountable.
It's amazing. And you have a lot of that. We found far too much of it. It's a pure fraud. We like to use the words waste and abuse because they sort of sound good, but many of these things are pure fraud.
I mean, if you have $330 million going to a 11-year-old, or God forbid, a 9-year-old, first off, how does an 11-year-old even get close to that kind of money unless they're a trust fund baby in terms of they have a multimillionaire family, which again, that's extremely rare that can even just do that type of thing. And 9-year-olds getting $100,000 loans. I mean, what are we doing here in this country where where we have just these massive loans and stuff going to children, literal children, to even babies? What are we doing? So what we have here also from Fox News, it says, Pam Bondi threatens prosecution amid DOJ's findings about fraud. We're coming after you. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi issued a stern warning to those engaged in government fraud at the most recent cabinet meeting on Monday. Speaking with President Donald Trump present at the meeting, Bondi thanked Tesla CEO Elon Musk for uncovering fraud, waste, and abuse to the Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE. A lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud, etc., etc. You have heard the stuff from her. So they're not effing around. They are being legitimately serious about this. And as these people have to be, yes, these people just need to be held accountable. All right, that's just it. We cannot be having fraud and these other crazy things going on and within our country and just surging and going through. Like, it's insane. Like, can you imagine the amount of any normal citizen doing this? Like, first off, the normal citizen would get caught immediately and put in jail for eternity. But apparently, some of these bureaucrats or Democrats, Republicans too, are doing this type of thing, and they're just getting away with it. Well, no longer, because, Pam Bondi is on the case and she's going to do it. But of course, we have the Epstein files, which she kind of swept under the rug here. So she's still on my shit list. She's still not doing great with me on that. Everything else, though, so far so good. What we have here is this. So we have the DOJ is telling the judge it's over, move on. Now, what this is mostly an article or a paper talking about what is going on, or rather, what a lot of these non-executive branches, federal judges, keep on laying out laws and stuff, like hindering Trump when doing things like, stopping people or stopping the president from sending illegals out of the state, deporting them, stopping the federal funding, the USAID, trying to prevent Trump from making boys not be in women's bathrooms and stuff like that. They've been doing this type of thing, and that's crazy. Well, the DOJ has pretty much said, yeah, you're not doing that anymore. You better stop, because if you don't, there's going to be some serious problems. But it says here, notice invoking state secrets privilege. The executive branch hereby notifies the court that no further information will be provided in response to the court's March 18th, 2025 minute order based on the state secrets privilege and the concurrently filed declarations of the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security. This is a case about the president's plenary authority derived from Article 2 and the mandate of the electorate and reinforced by long-standing statute to remove from the homeland designated terrorists participating in a state-sponsored invasion of and predatory incursion into the United States. The court has all the facts it needs to address the compliance issues before it. Further intrusions on the executive branch would present dangerous and wholly unwarranted separation of powers harms with respect to diplomatic and national security concerns that the court lacks competence to address. Accordingly, the state secrets privilege forecloses further demands for details that have no place in this matter. The government will address the court's order to show cause tomorrow by demonstrating that there is no basis for the suggestion of non-compliance with any binding order. Yeah. So they're pretty much saying, yeah, try it, keep on going, and if you do, we're gonna have to arrest you. We're gonna file charges against you for trying to supersede your power. Because, as I said before, we have branches to our government. We have the federal, then we have the executive, and then we have Congress. These are the three branches, and they go in that exact order in terms of power. Federal being the weakest, executive being the second, and Congress being the first. Because all these branches have to answer to the other branch. That's how this works. And these federal branches are just saying, like, oh, we're just gonna break all these things here, and we're just gonna not follow the actual law and the rule of things and how things are supposed to be run in this country. So yeah, they don't have the power to do so, and the DOJ said, no, you're not doing that here, and things are gonna go swimmingly well, and yeah. So prepare for a lot of arrests from these people that are committing fraud, and any criminal that is killed people in our country, you are probably going to be executed, which I fully support, because we need to set a precedent here. Like, if you commit crimes in our country as an illegal person, you are going to get the fullest extent of the law, and your life may be forfeit because you committed horrible and horrendous crimes in our country. Mess with us, and find out. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.